Welcome back, folks. Now that the new year is upon us, it is time to focus on everyone's season, tax season. It's never too soon, though, to get your papers in order.
So you can get that paper.
Ideally, so you can get a refund.
Yes, hopefully. But before doing so, there's information you need to know to protect yourself from identity theft. Luckily, identity theft expert and nationally recognized author Steve Weisman is joining us now to talk about ways we can prevent getting scammed.
It's really important, and it's a serious problem. You know, it's one of these things where the IRS is getting marginally better at stopping income tax identity theft. But marginally better means we still lose billions of dollars. And if you're one of the people who you file your income tax return and then suddenly told there's been one filed, you're not getting your refund, the GAO, the General Accountability Office, released a study recently, and it said it takes anywhere from 200 to 300 days before a victim of identity theft can get their
That's about a year.
Yeah, and that's kind of tough. And part of the problem is we're all vulnerable. It used to be, you know, you guard your Social Security number and that's going to protect you. But the bottom line is that there's so many data breaches. I look back to the Equifax one with 148 million, including me.
Oh, yeah.
And so my information is out there. So the best thing you can do is to file early, and early before the income tax identity thieves can do it.
You have to get your number in there before the cheats can.
Exactly.
I thought when you said tax scams, I've received a couple calls actually from the IRS.
Yes.
Right.
Which isn't really the IRS.
No.
Yes.
Asking for me to pay back taxes I owe with like Apple iTunes cards or something.
Exactly. You know, that's one of the things. It's kind of sad that the IRS is now putting on their websites, we don't ask for iTunes, we don't ask for gift cards. But there's a good way to know. Some of these guys who call up are really, really good. And they make it sound, they convince you, they make it sound there's an emergency, you're going to be arrested,
right.
take
and you hear IRS and you panic.
And you may see IRS. You may look on your caller ID and it can say IRS. There's a technique called spoofing where they can make it appear that way. The easy way to know, is it the IRS that's sending you the email, the phone call, or the text message? No, the IRS will not email.
Here's how you know.
Or call. But you know what's interesting? And many of these calls will come in with an Indian accent with a reason. India is a call center hub for legitimate support call centers and illegitimate. Just recently, Indian law enforcement coupling with American law enforcement busted a huge ring. I mean, they arrested hundreds of people who were doing these calls day after day and catching people. So the big thing is the IRS is not going to be calling you. They're not going to be demanding money. If you're scared, hang up the phone. You never can be sure who's calling you.
Don't give in.
Right. And call the real IRS. You won't get through, but eventually you'll find someone who'll tell you.
The 800 number.
Exactly. But it's a big problem. If you want to put a good twist on it, violent crime in Tampa, Florida, and other cities has gone down because the street gangs have switched over to income tax identity theft. They have parties
Law
in a
of
motel.
unintended consequences.
There you go.
Steve, we're out of time. Bottom line, though, get in your tax returns as quickly as possible.
Yes, important.
When we